If you're an NBA fan, you probably know that it's one thing to play against Kyrie Irving and another thing to play against untucked Kyrie. You can play against Damian Lillard, but just hope that you're not playing against him in Dame time. Carmelo Anthony may not be in his prime anymore, but he was a killer and a nightmare for other teams back in his heyday. However, NBA teams are extremely lucky to have gone against Carmelo Anthony and not Hoodie Melo. Obviously, I'm being a bit dramatic with all this, but my point is that some players are capable of getting into a zone where they just seem unguardable. And some players like the ones I just mentioned are known for that. The one person that should be added to that list is Jamal Murray. In the NBA bubble, Jamal Murray showed us just how dominant he can be. He showed us that he has that it factor, the clutch gene, and the ability to step up his game when it matters most. And I have a feeling that the best from Murray is yet to come. The poise and confidence that Jamal Murray has shown when the lights are brightest puts him in a class with the best crunch time performers in the league. And it can be attributed to a lot of people and a lot of things. One of those people is his father. And as you read in the title, some of those things are Bruce Lee movies. Many people spend a great deal of time trying to figure out which path to take in life. With Jamal Murray, this wasn't the case as his path was decided long before he was born. Jamal was born to Roger Murray, a martial arts fanatic who fell in love with Kung Fu at the tender age of 5. His love for Kung Fu came from Bruce Lee movies, which made Roger admire the martial art and all it stood for. As he grew older, Roger began reading books on Kung Fu and learning about the mentality one must develop in order to practice it successfully. The different ideals of Kung Fu became a way of life for him, and he began using the techniques on his own. And on top of that, he vowed that if he ever had a son, he'd train him to think the same way. Apart from martial arts, Roger was also a basketball fan, and specifically a Michael Jordan fan. Although he practiced Kung Fu and occasionally played basketball, he wasn't going to be a martial artist like Bruce Lee or a basketball player like Jordan. But he had a plan to develop one of his own children into someone similar to both of those icons. That child, of course, would turn out to be Jamal Murray. Before Jamal could even talk, his dad used to take him to his pickup games so that he could absorb the sights and the sounds of the game from his stroller. Jamal gravitated towards basketball at a very young age, and that was all his father needed to see before he began working with him. Now, hearing that his father vowed to train him using what he learned from Kung Fu might sound cool right now, but it wasn't the most pleasant experience for young Jamal. To put it simply, his father's methods were unorthodox. He stressed 3 things: physical strength, mental fortitude, and inner calm. They trained almost every day, and the cold Kitchener, Ontario winters were not a hindrance to their workouts, but an opportunity to get even tougher. Even in the snow, Jamal Murray had to do laps before school, and after school he had more waiting for him as he'd have conditioning routes straight uphill, which he was supposed to run sideways or backward. He also had to do pull-ups, push-ups, and outdoor shooting drills in which Jamal only took lefty shots so that he would be ambidextrous, and another drill whereby if he missed a shot, he'd have to sprint up a hill in the snow and back down to do the same drill. And there were some other workouts which are some of the most unique I've heard of. As a kid, Jamal Murray had to shoot with a blindfold on, and in order to improve his balance, his dad used to make him hold a deep squat position, and he would then put 2 cups of tea on Jamal's thighs, expecting him to balance them for as long as Roger wanted. And on average, it lasted about 12 minutes. And to keep his handle tight, his dad also instructed him to dribble a basketball in a makeshift hockey rink. He would then wrap up the workouts with meditation in the snow to eliminate outside noise and distractions by focusing on his breathing and lowering his heart rate below 40 beats a minute.
I'm just reading it.
And even to this day, Jamal Murray still meditates daily for 30 to 40 minutes.
I meditate every day for about 30 to 40 minutes. To me, it's what makes me shoot the ball so well, see things clearer. It's something that I need in my game to make me.
According to his dad, the difficulty of these workouts and the uncomfortable environment was all for the purpose of increasing Jamal Murray's pain tolerance while creating habits and a mindset to never let up. All those workouts sound like they'd be wild to do for just one day of your life. Now imagine doing them nearly every day for more than 10 years. It is for this reason that Jamal Murray has said that the NBA is like a break from all the workout programs he did with his dad. The workouts do sound like they were intense and perhaps too intense, and many people in the Kitchener community definitely thought so. Some of the people complained to Roger saying that he was putting his son through unnecessary pain, and some accused him of not knowing what he was doing. The Jamal has defended his father, saying that what we need to understand is that he also did the workouts with love and with passion. All the noise would fade out once the work started to pay off. Although his father's methods were unorthodox, they definitely worked. By his 10th grade year, Jamal Murray had become a standout high school recruit in Canada, and high schools in the US began showing a lot of interest in him. But even then, he and his father were still determined to do things their own way. He stayed home and finished his last 2 years of high school in the country's best prep school. Orangeville Prep. This was another unorthodox move because up to that point, all of Canada's best prospects transferred to schools in the US to get more exposure and recognition, so staying at home was viewed as a risk in many people's eyes. But it wasn't a risk at all. Jamal Murray played like the best player in the country, and after Thon Maker transferred to Orangeville Prep in Murray's senior year, many American colleges started to pay attention to the school and its prospects. And in his time there, Murray racked up offers from different D1 schools, showing that it is indeed possible to make it from where he's from. And getting newfound recognition did not mean that he and his dad were going to change anything about their mindset and how they were going about their training. On one occasion, an assistant from the University of Kentucky flew to Kitchener, Ontario to meet up with Jamal Murray on a recruiting visit. He arrived during one of Jamal's workout sessions, and when he was over, as he was approaching Murray, Roger stopped him and told him to wait until Jamal was done meditating. The work ethic and the mind over matter attitude is one that Jamal Murray has continued to incorporate into his training and life, even when he's not with his dad. So much so that it has even gotten him into trouble. In the Nuggets organization, Jamal Murray is known for having late night workouts that end past midnight. It's good to work hard, but as the Denver Nuggets president of basketball operations has shared, you don't want your players, especially your star players, to be working that hard during the season. On one night in 2019, Murray might have overworked himself. He had a workout which ended later than 2 in the morning, and what's even crazier is that he had a game the next day. Murray slept through his alarm and arrived late to the team's shoot-around. When team officials confronted Murray about being late and about late night workouts, he expressed that he disagreed with their arguments because, as he had learned from his kung fu training, a disciplined mind can take a person beyond what he believes to be his physical limits. Late night workouts seem to be something he enjoys because even when he was a high school player playing for Team Canada, Rowan Barrett, aka the general manager of the Canadian men's national team, aka RJ Barrett's dad, once found Murray practicing late at night during the 2015 Pan Am Games. Barrett and other team officials warned Murray not to practice so much and so late because he risked overworking himself and getting injured. However, Murray did not listen because he was back in the gym just the next day. This led to Rowan Barrett confiscating Jamal Murray's shoes. The next night, he heard the ball bouncing, and when he checked to see who it was, he found a barefoot Jamal Murray shooting hoops. That's the work ethic of Jamal Murray, and I can't wait to see how it pays off. He's currently recovering from a torn ACL, and I definitely wish him nothing but the quickest recovery. That's it for the video though. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, peace.